Recording. Hi there, my name is Michelle Caira and I'm the founder and CEO of Fit Mama Fitness. Thank you for pressing play on my investor deck. I am looking for a pre-seed round of $250,000 to build out a femtech, AI-powered fitness, health and wellness app for mothers. I'm a certified master personal trainer as my second career since 2010. And then prior to that, I was 12 years as a corporate banker in Edinburgh. There is some traction with the app that we have, and we're pulling together over a variety of different platforms, but there's a solid product market fit, and I want to take this to market now. I would say that we are a combo of fit times clue times maven, specifically for mothers. Let me take you through the presentation. Problem to solve. When we are looking at our target demographic, this is a quote from a mother. Scrolling YouTube for fitness videos, flicking onto Clue, then Googling for return to work advice before searching Pinterest for food ideas, dropping a group text to find out what split abs are, and posting on Mumsnet to find out why I'm wetting myself doing jumping jacks. There must be one app out there for mums. I have been working with this demographic since 2010. I took a keen interest in working with mothers because no other personal trainer seemed to be interested in working with them, in all honesty. I don't know if it's the lack of sexiness with them because, you know, they're coming with they're tired constantly. They've usually got a baby on tow, and they're basically, you know, they want to lose weight, but they don't want to, you know, lose too much. They're trying to breastfeed. So personal trainers were not in general looking at this target demographic. What I also found out when I started to get involved with this industry and also have my own son was that prenatal, antenatal and postnatal workouts are rarely offered in mainstream fitness apps. When they are of poor quality and range, leaving a whole demographic out in the cold. Postpartum ailments are serious, debilitating and can have psychological impact. No fitness or health app covers a data-driven approach to exercise, nutrition, mental wellness, specifically for mothers. You're looking at postpartum depression, overwhelm, periods, breastfeeding, split abs. Most fitness apps offer a tracker, so they'll tell you what you're doing, they'll track perhaps your heart rate, but with a slew of data, it is often missed. The crucial point for working moms and busy moms is, what do you do with that data? Mothers have no time for scrolling. There's a gap in the market for strong, science-backed, AI-driven service for mothers who have less time, money, energy, and body awareness than they had before the baby arrived. Working mothers in particular are exhausted. The solution: a femtech, AI-powered, reliable, science-backed fitness, health and wellness app for mothers. Lots of different elements in there in one sentence, but that's what I want to create. A trifecta approach, giving equal importance to fitness with the potential of a live session or a personal trainer, health, which covers everything to do with the body. So maybe a cesarean section wound, how do I look after that wound? How do I make sure I'm not exercising too quickly? And also with food and nutrition. So we want to be able to tag in, like the personal trainer, we want to have availability to select an appointment with a dietitian, a nutritionist. Vitality, third area. This is anything that's non-fitness and non-food. So anything to do with a psychologist or a therapy session could be added in, group therapy. The vitality piece will also cover anything like return to work, postpartum depression, baby blues, HR policies, okay? Femtech driven, pretty critical. A lot of apps out there are fit tech driven. So we want to look at the femtech side. It's females that we are looking at. Now, you don't necessarily need to have given birth to your child in order to be using Fit Mama. You may have used a surrogate, you may have used an adoption agency, you may be fostering. So some of the postpartum ailments I talked about before are obviously not including you. If you have never given birth to the child, you will not particularly have a cesarean section. You will not have leaking breast nipples with breast milk. You will not have split abdominals. But you will still be tired. You'll still be exhausted. You will still be going through the teething stage with your child and have broken sleep. You will still be looking for a community. You will still be looking for mum-specific advice. Femtech driven normally means that it is tracking your menstrual cycle. If you look at menstrual cycle apps out there, in particular the top ones like Clue, they are trying to help the user in one of two ways: pregnancy achievement, pregnancy avoidance. What is it the user wants to do? Does she want to fall pregnant and she needs to know when she's ovulating, or does she want to avoid pregnancy and she needs to know when she is ovulating to make sure she uses other protection? What is it she's looking to do? We want to actually, like another few companies I've come across, we want to look at how can we use your menstrual cycle to help you use fitness, health, nutrition, mental wellness to give you a much rounder program every month. So for example, women may not be aware that during the luteal phase of their menstrual cycle, they should be doing different types of exercises. They may not be aware that during the bleeding phase of their period, that they should be eating certain foods or avoiding. They may not be aware that if they are coming into a stage of feeling moody and premenstrual syndrome or a little bit of tension, that they could be doing X, Y, and Z, food or nutrition based or mental wellness based, to help them. It's now becoming far more obvious to those who are interested in menstrual cycle and tagging that in to your fitness and exercise and nutrition, that we can be manipulating that data that we have as a user to help us every month to have a much easier month. There are apps out there that are working with elite female athletes who are doing just that, to help that athlete to train better, recovery rates better, to eat better during certain stages in her monthly cycle, which helps her to perform better. Taking this down to a mother who may not be a professional athlete, we are trying to do the same. We're trying to make sure that we can give her something today that is specific for her today. We also need it to be fit tech friendly. We are well aware of the fit tech wearables that are out there, and we want to make sure we can sync in with that information. Not just fit tech, but we can also look at things like MyFitnessPal on the nutrition side. That's a fantastic app. The database behind that, there'd be no point in trying to replicate that. It's fantastic. We would like to be able to tag into that as well. So we are wanting to be able to use what's already out there, what our clients might be using, and push that into our app. Subscription based, because subscription for mothers is a key, it's just a key benefit for them. They themselves may have an income that is completely fluctuating during the pregnancy stage, the maternity leave stage, and the postpartum stage in their own individual lives. It is well known that mothers, specifically in the US, if I'm talking about our target geolocations, have a bit of a rough ride when it comes to maternity leave, maternity pay, job to go back to, how long will she be off with her baby. She may not have a large disposable income, so it's critical for Fit Mama to be able to open for every genre of mother, regardless of her income. So we have to offer free and paid plans. It's really important for if we look at the UN Sustainable Development Goals as well, one of them is around education of women, inclusivity, equality. And that's something that's very important for me. I'm a single mother, and it's really important that I know that I'm creating a product that others who may not have the facilities, the money, the Wi-Fi even, so that they can still gain something from Fit Mama. We can bolt on private coaching to all of our elements. So I told you the trifecta approach. We can bolt on licensed Fit Mama coaches, personal training sessions, psychologists that we can tag into for postpartum depression. We can tag into HR experts so that if somebody anonymously wants to find out, how do I return to work and demand or ask for or request breast milk courier service, a fridge for my breast milk to go on? How much time do I get per day to pump? Things like this, our clients may or may not know that, and they may or may not want to go to their work and tip their work off that they are asking these questions. We need to look at community. Now, at the moment, if you look at anything on Twitter, for example, any startups that do not include a community element are really being viewed as, why not? Why are you not trying to create a community around that business? So for us, it's absolutely critical that we include that from day one. We would like the community to be built in-app. We don't want our clients going outside to perhaps a Facebook private group or to a Telegram channel or to a Mighty Networks or Circle. We want to keep them in-app. We're also a community there to help so that we can have our peers, our village, our other mums helping mums out, but also that the professionals, the qualified professionals that are on the Fit Mama team can dip in and out and actually give some solid, correct, qualified advice. Content has to be reliable. At the moment, a new mum could easily go into Google and she will get millions of responses. So we would like to be reliable, and we would absolutely like to be science-backed. We would like to do particular studies. Once we get through the pre-seed raise and we get onto our seed round, we would like to go into science. We'd like to find out exactly the areas of concern for our new mums and to get some research done on that, so that when we come back with our content, we know this works, we've tested it, there's science behind that. It's very important that we do that. And we want to eventually not just look at the postpartum stage, but also look at the full reproductive years and stages of a female. So this app eventually could go down to the stage of probably not teenage girls. We don't think we'd get involved that young. Maybe that would be a fitter teen app, but certainly from the reproductive years of, say, age 18 onwards. Everything is different in these stages of life, and it's not necessarily that you require to have a baby, but we want to be there specifically for the mother. One of the areas that is up and coming, and you will find this up and coming probably within the next 5 to 10 years, is the perimenopause and menopause stages. That's because millennials who were born in the IT age stage will be reaching the stages of perimenopause, which is usually around 41 years old up to the age of 50, 51, 52 before they go into menopause. And out there at the moment, I can already see, reading the room, that there's hardly anything out there for perimenopause and menopause. So we do have the widespread and open room, an open mind to look at where could Fit Mama go beyond the postpartum stage as a company. Why now? Okay, market trends at the moment. Now we can look at this in terms of COVID, and we can look at this as pre-COVID. What I would say to you is I started working on Fit Mama as an online proposition way back in 2014. And nothing really has changed in terms of my mindset with regard to what do mums need, even with COVID happening. What has become crystal clear during our COVID era is that the working mother in particular, the working mother who is employed or self-employed or earns money for working, as opposed to the stay-at-home mum, the working mother has been annihilated in the last while with COVID, because she has been pushed into this point of what do I do next? So the market trends in fitness, health and wellness at the moment are fantastic to watch and to analyze. You obviously have the fitness element and the fitness area booming because you have all of these companies out there. They have a target audience at home, no gyms or fitness studios opened. Some countries are completely restricted, so you are restricted to your home. You may be going through the stage of confinement because, or quarantine because you were exposed to a positive test or whatever it may be. So just now, the fitness industry is booming. Wearable technology in fit tech, I see day in, day out, but also in femtech. And I've noted a couple of companies here to have a look at to see what are they doing and how are they doing this. Exercise is medicine. This was a message pre-COVID, definitely during COVID, and will definitely be after COVID. Exercise is medicine for your physical health, but also your mental health. And we are noticing this with COVID. Mind and body training, combining fitness workouts with meditation, mindfulness, rest and recovery. These are all on trend. Virtual fitness, that is not in the new mum space at the moment, but that is something that would be fantastic. Could you imagine if Mirror, for example, had postpartum, had antenatal, had prenatal classes where you were using Mirror to check your technique, check everything about where you were putting your tailbone. Are your abs pulled in? Are your shoulders too deep? How is your lower back? All of these things would be fantastic. Fit Mama, I can see if we got this app up and running and out there, collabs with the likes of Mirror would be definitely on the cards. I would be 100% open to that. High intensity interval training, yes, these mums want to feel alive. Health and wellness coaching, yes, as in-app purchases. I've seen companies out there who are now doing this, and that is exactly what we had from day one in our business plan. Quality content, value for money, that's what people are looking for, and they definitely want a community. Why now? Why not now would be the question I would ask. Remote working will become the norm. You may find that it will be a blended approach once we get through the COVID stage and vaccines are out and everyone is trying to get back to a new normal. But because we've had a taste of working from home and we understand how it works and we enjoy it and we like it, you might find then that the blended approach happens. A couple of days in the office or a co-working space, majority of time working from home. So we need to then blend that as well. What do we need to do as a fitness and health and wellness company that can be carried, taken anywhere? The in-office gym, the local gym, back at the house. So you've got continuity. Mental health and wellness will become very important to everyone in the household, especially in countries where you are paying for your healthcare. So if there's a private healthcare system that you're paying into, you want to make sure that you are at the fittest and healthiest that you can possibly be, because you don't want to be paying the premium, the amount to actually use your health coverage. You don't want to be using the healthcare system because it costs you so much. We talked about work, school, living and exercising. At-home fitness will be covered by workplace wellness benefits package. This is one of the key areas of market trends that Fit Mama is desperate to get into. The B2B workplace wellness solutions genre, vertical, is one that we should strive for from day one. This is an area, if we got in there with key large global companies, let's use Procter & Gamble, PwC, any of these types of companies that we want to get in with, a small office to begin with, make sure it works, and then go out throughout the global offices, we could be the workplace wellness solution for any female employee who is then going on mat leave. Whether that be white label or whether that be bespoke, or we do separate content for that particular business, up for grabs. Smaller, more meaningful communities will be created. Goes back to the point of trying to look at reading the room regarding Facebook in particular. We're looking at decentralizing or deconstructing Facebook. It's too powerful. It's a monopoly. People don't want to have all their business on there. People are extremely nervous about data and how private their accounts are, who's using their data and for what purpose. So smaller niche communities will be built. You've seen the likes of Mighty Networks and Circle in particular, who are doing extremely well in that regard. We would have a Fit Mama community inbuilt to our web and app. Smaller influencers practicing realistic lifestyles will be desired. Yeah, long gone are the days of the Kardashians, although they are doing fantastic in terms of this lipstick's great and then it's sold out within 30 minutes. Smaller influencers are actually key, and especially when we come to companies like Fit Mama, where we're looking at where are the new mums that are out there. This could be the likes of Reese Witherspoon. It could be the likes of celebrities, writers, authors, artists in the UK, the US, whatever country we want to go into, where we can use them and really work well with them. If you think about new audio communities like Clubhouse, for an example, could you imagine getting a panel of well-known celebrity type mums on there with me, comparing and driving a conversation around exercising, balancing work life, yeah, you know, as a new mum? These are the types of of places, these little clubhouse rooms and communities that we think will thrive. Mission-driven brands that pull people together will do well, and that's exactly what we want. Our mission is to make sure that we make a mother's life as easy as possible. We know she's stressed, we know she's overwhelmed, and we want to take that down a notch and say, we'll give you very simple solutions that you can do, and we're here to help you. Quality in-person meetings will work well, and that's why we still have an in-person Fit Mama classes via a Fit Mama coach and a business license available. More on that later. And finding space in the home for blended work life will mean collabs between fitness and home brands will work well. And if you check out a couple of years ago, there was a press announcement, a press release from Adidas and IKEA, and it was a watch this space type of collab announcement. I've not seen anything since, but I think these will become a little bit more popular. Two ways for us to do our financial model. Now, I come from a corporate banking background. I'm a chartered banker. On my board, the treasurer on my board, Andy Edwards, is also a chartered accountant and corporate banker as well. So I've created the financial model and deck, which you can have access to, just let me know. And what we have done is we have decided to look at, okay, two ways of actually working out a financial model. The first one is to look at the births per year. And from the births, we can kind of estimate how many mums there are available per year. We can also look at, and I'll show you the next slide, mothers in the US. So we can look at, well, okay, well, we don't need to take a snapshot of this past year. There are 3.8 million births, or 4.2, or whatever country you're in. Actually, what's the mothers in the US? Because there might be mothers of a 4-year-old that want, a 4-year-old child that want to actually take on the Fit Mama. So if we look at births per annum, we are looking, and this is numbers based on US births only. We are looking at, to give some figures and numbers around, how do we pull this all together? We have looked at 2% market share, 1 year of new mothers, births per year, how much the annual revenue would be from the premium club only, not looking at the basic membership or the free membership, and not looking at B2B, B2B2C, not looking at business coach license, but let's just try and get real proper numbers. Now, as you well know, for a startup which doesn't have a product out there for sale as yet, or has a very small number of traction to show in potential investors, it's really tough to try and get realistic numbers. Because I come from a banking background and so does my treasurer, we have decided not to do blue sky thinking and to give investors, we think we will get 10% of the marketplace and that we will earn, X amount per year in year one. Totally unrealistic. What we've done in the financial model is we've looked at, okay, what 3 key states in the US do we think that we can get entry to market in quickly? And the 3 that we selected, Texas, California, New York. Entry to market because we know that people are already working out and exercising in these states. We know there's a high number of corporate head offices there. Propensity to spend money on the parenting market, pretty high. So I've looked at all of these data points, I've looked at all of these statistics, and for me, to entry to market, to get in there quickly, to make sure we can prove product market fit in a pre-seed zone is exactly where we're going to. So this is what we've done for the births per annum. Looking at number of mothers per year gives you a completely different number, way higher, because you're then looking at years worth of cumulative numbers of mothers in the US. Not a bad calculation to take at all, might I add, because in my experience since 2010, mothers came to train with Fit Mama, not just in the postpartum stage, but actually retained their membership with me, continued to come to Fit Mama classes, continued training with me when the child was way out of the postpartum age group. So, the kids were maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, and the mums were still working out with me. One of my key clients I've had consistently for the past 4 or 5 years is actually a grandmother. So we have this ability to look at mothers in the US and actually with confidence take that as the numbers for our financial model. I haven't. I've taken births because it gives us a per year figure, and it tells us some really key KPIs that we can drive around that to say, well, if we know there's been 3 million births this year, we should be trying to target and get in with at least 2% of that number. So that market share. So that for me is a little bit more tangible. The roadmap of what's happened and where we've been. Fit Mama as a class was created many, many years ago, but as a business, it was created in 2018 and it was done and founded in BC in Canada. I'm Scottish and I was in Canada to immerse myself in the startup ecosystem there. And that's when I registered the company and started the company. No regrets. I think it's fantastic. A Canadian company I'm proud to be. And now we will look at, okay, how do we drive that company into particularly the US? Everything was tested and planned between 2018 and 2020. So all the websites, I drag and dropped, used no coding platforms for the websites. I tested out 2 different platforms for courses so that we could put the 30-day and the 90-day plan on there. I had 2 separate testing groups for all of the materials so that I could test the language being used. So for an example, I could potentially say to a client, pull up your diary and plan out in advance what workouts you want to do. And feedback from an American English speaking person on that focus group said, I've not got a clue what you mean when you say pull up your diary. Do you mean your schedule? And I said, yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Now, pull up your schedule or open your schedule can be used in British English, no problem. We would understand what that means, but we would say, what does your diary look like next week? So that nuance in the English language, I tested all of that with testing groups, and then obviously the fitness workouts as well. There's over 400 workouts loaded onto YouTube, and there's also a Fit Mama Club Basic at the moment, where people are paying a membership to join that. There are 111 clients, and they're on invite only. What I mean by that is, I've done no advertising whatsoever, no spreading of on social media, anything. It's basically to find out what is it clients are looking for and can I deliver? And that's mainly on the fitness side and on the plans. The pre-seed round of 250,000, that will be a really good starting point. That will be something for us to say, right, let's build out the website and the app, the initial version 1 app. Let's get some beta testing done on that. Let's make sure we've got start to build an exec team. COO is going to be critical. Also a PR strategy in place, probably with an external company. A developer to obviously develop this for us. Again, potentially putting that out, outsource that, and then bring it in-house during a seed round. I'm not too sure. Excuse me, not too sure. Building out the advisory board, cannot do that until we know what we're actually trying to sell. An OBGYN is not going to put their name into a company that they don't know what it is they're meant to be supporting and advising on. So we will start to build out the advisory board in the 3 zones that I've talked about: the fitness zone, the health nutrition zone, and then also the mental wellness zone. And then from there, we really want to start looking at what kind of science do we want behind the scenes here, because we want to be a science-backed business. So what do we need to do? What kind of research would we like to do? We can also definitely go into the B2B marketplace and start building these relationships. B2B will be relationship-based, for sure. We can potentially do targeted ads on the likes of LinkedIn with HR execs, HR team members, exec team members of target companies that we want to get in with. And we do want to start looking at how do we sponsor key women in business events. And that could be something that is online events that are on at the moment. It could be sponsoring Clubhouse community meetings. It could be sponsoring physical events. It could be sending out a welcome pack to a variety of different journalists of top magazines that we want to get into, with a water bottle, resistance band, membership, etc. I'm currently based in France with my son. I am very up and open and prepared to relocate to East Coast US, possibly Boston for the IT side and the tech that's available there. Hence the reason why it says France, Boston based. After the pre-seed raise, we'll be in a better position to work out what we need to do next in order to take this to the next level. And a seed raise would, I think, be likely to happen. With that money in the seed fundraise would be to build out the developer team, build out the client team, the exec team, develop the app to include nutrition and mental health verticals, make sure we've got the live stream production up and running, grow out the personal training team through coach licenses, business licenses, and B2B growth globally from the US HQ that we have. Hire a science team. The top apps that I'm looking at that I think are absolutely fantastic have PhD teams behind them. So people who have done serious research into menstrual cycle linked to female bodies with fitness or health or working out or recovery rates. Bear in mind, we're doing this for postpartum. So we're looking at who do we need to know in the maternal world. And one of the key areas, and this is something that's very important for us to bear in mind, the maternal mortality rate in the US is extremely high, particularly for Black mothers. This is something that we could research and that we can use Fit Mama to help these mothers through fitness, awareness, education, and also to tie this in with the UN sustainable goals. Okay, so there's quite a lot with the seed fundraise that we can do. The MVP at the moment I've talked on already, so I won't spend a lot of time on that. There's a lot of YouTube videos. We have Mighty Networks as a free platform, Telegram channels as a paid club, live sessions, etc. This is what the app could look like. This is just a mock-up that's been done. And from here, you will be able to see when you type in and you come in, the data that we have collected, we want to take that data and we want to use that data to push through, like a Netflix idea. Here's the workout that you should do today. It should be a low intensity workout because you're at X stage of your monthly cycle, you're working away from home, etc., etc. Here's your food and nutrition, and here's your mental wellness. We want everything to be science-backed. We want reliable advice. We want to have experts on hand. One thing I've noted here that I really want you to pay attention to, I've said community. It takes a village to raise a child. We are creating a village to raise a mother. As a mum, I can tell you, you are not handed out a manual at any point, so you have no clue what to do, okay? We want to become that place. We don't want to become a community page where you're asking things like, who's got the best advice on putting my child into nursery? We're not so interested in the child, to be honest, to be really honest. We're not so interested in the baby side and the child. We're interested in the mum. She feels devastated handing over her child to a nursery or a creche so that she can return to work. This doesn't work for her. She has separation anxiety. She is struggling to find the worth and the neediness to go back to work, but she needs the salary. That's the kind of area that we're thinking of more than what's the recommendations for, you know, handing the child over. We definitely want to be a workplace wellness benefit, and we want to start completing the reproductive years and beyond. So perimenopause and menopause do become important for us. What we cover, sorry, a little delay there. What we cover, we want to be mental wellness for mums, community, workouts, nutrition, B2C and B2B. The differentiator is we are for mothers. End of. So if somebody says to you, how are you different than blah, 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 blah? We are for mothers, mums. That's who we're for. So when you look at Adidas, Nike, Apple, Peloton, Mirror, they may have small areas for postpartum or new mum section, but they don't have much. Okay, they don't have much. Their data that they're collecting doesn't tell you very much for mothers. Okay. MyFitnessPal, we definitely want to use. This is a Venn really of all of the different areas, and we would sit in the middle, taking the best from each of these types of apps and producing something for us. The unit economics, we have got a full financial deck and model for you to have. Now, when we are trying to figure out how do we make money, we make money in a couple of or three different verticals that we're looking at: B2C, B2B model, and also from our in-person class model, so selling business and coach licenses. So when we look at that and we try to figure it all out, what I've done is initially for the pre-seed kind of financials, which are projections and forecast, we've looked at what can we actually get numbers on. So we've looked at the B2C side specifically. Let's take that down to 3 states that we'd like to go in year 1. What does that look like? So you've got the information there. Acquiring clients and acquiring customers, where are they coming from? Well, these people are coming, they're sitting on, scrolling through Pinterest because they want to do a baby announcement, they want to do a pregnancy announcement, they might be on TikTok doing funny little videos during their pregnancy, They could be on LinkedIn looking for employment details, new jobs, seeking employment, keeping in touch with their work colleagues. They will be on YouTube searching how do you put a car seat into a whatever type of car, how do you clip it in. These are the target areas where we're looking to acquire these clients from. And all of these areas and all of these advertising zones are extremely expensive. So we need to work out what is the best way to do this. Quite some time ago, when I was in Vancouver, I spoke to a PR company to get a little bit ahead information on how would a PR company work with this, with Fit Mama. And what was really interesting was they said PR will be the making of Fit Mama. What you need to do is you need to be the first choice of any TV morning shows when they have an expert in the postpartum fitness, how to combine as a working mom your fitness and your health, how to create a dish and a meal for your family to be meal planning for the week. And I thought, wow, that's absolutely correct, because that's exactly, as a mum, what I am looking at and consuming and understanding. The path to 1 million in revenue, really simple. Once we understand that we can create this app and the app is working, we've beta tested it and we've put it out to the initial 3 states, we move into more states more quickly. We launch the B2B product much quicker, the white label product. We add the business license and the coach license as quickly as possible, so the in-person sessions are taking place and we're earning income from that. In-app purchases of one-to-one sessions, psychologists, personal trainers, nutritionists, dietitians, and the live stream pay-per-view as well. Looking at the total number of mothers and the total number of births, again, looking at these 2 statistics that we can get, here's your numbers. Competitors, I'm definitely not going through the competitors with you, you'll know them all, but I have done them in columns: fitness, nutrition, mental wellness, postpartum, community, science-backed, B2C, B2B, online and in-person. These are the zones that are important for me, and who is up there, who are our competitors up there? You'll have heard of most of them. And this is the femtech side. The femtech have far more green spots because they actually care about the female demographic. They are niche market. The fit tech are not niche, they are fitness. The femtech are niche. They are top competitors of ours. Bella Beat in particular are extremely ahead of other competitors when you look at what they are offering and how they are starting to grow their business. Here is the team. I am the only person working in and on Fit Mama. Alongside me, I have Andy Edwards as Treasurer and Director, who sits on the board, Britt Ritchie, who's a Director sitting on the board, and Madhvi Kulkarni, who's sitting as a Director on the board. Here's a lot of information about me. I've given that throughout the presentation. I'm Scottish. I'm currently based in France. The company is Canadian. We're looking to get into the US. Sounds like a bit of a mix. Don't worry about it. We can sort all of that out. I'm a certified master personal trainer with accreditations in personal training, and I do work with any individual, but I specifically look at what's called special populations, which include prenatal, antenatal, and postpartum. The ask for initially for the pre-seed round is that we need to build out the exec team, we need to build out the product and the web development, we need to get PR and marketing done, we need to start looking at personal trainers to bring them on board to bulk out our fitness options, video production, and then we need to start our initial science studies. What is it we need to do? And probably get each quarter set up so that we've got a filming studio within the the HQ office. Key milestones, obviously, we want the app launch with the fitness element out as soon as possible, B2B connections mapped out. Who do we want to get involved with? Who do we need intros to? Let's get started and start onboarding them. We have the 30-day PT plan already ready. It's PDF ready. We can bundle that up and sell it on Amazon as a book. We can use that as an en route to getting people onto the app. But that is not part of an app or anything. It's a PDF, and it links into YouTube videos. So we can use that initially to start selling from day one. We need recruitment of the COO, open recruitment for business coaches and licensees, and that's our first pre-seed. When we get the pre-seed secured, this is the vision and the mapping that we would like to do, which I've gone through quite a lot of that with you already. App development, prepping for the seed round, what do we need to get? Fitness live streaming, that is almost like a separate application, you know, fitmama.tv. And that will become massive because we can then use our coaches that we have globally that we take on board with a coaching license to do live streaming of their classes. So if you're a mum sitting in France and you've decided that at 3 o'clock, I'd really like to do some fitness now, but what can I do? You can go on and see, oh, New York, I've got a live class kicking off right now. I'll join that live class, okay? Moving into new markets, and this is something really interesting for me, taking the business into new markets, including Muslim women. So it's a demographic specifically that I'm very interested to find out a bit more about, because as a working personal trainer, I don't see a lot of Muslim women in the gym environment, or if they are, they're going to female-only gyms. So it'd be quite interesting to know if they would, if there would be a market fit for a specific mum version for Muslim women, and it's an area that I'd like to look into. Definitely Africa as a continent, and then foreign languages. How do we translate into foreign languages? Hardware could be quite interesting, so that we can then start to look at femtech type hardware that would help the client, but we need to work on what that's going to do for us. So we investigate it, but let's partner up with complementary companies first. This is a very long presentation for Investor Deck. In current climate, it's important that if you're not taking meetings or if you're in different time zones, that this is as full and as thorough an Investor Deck as I can possibly give you, so that you can get to know a little bit about me, my ideas, my concepts, my thought process, where I'd like to take the company and what I need to get there. My contact details are available there for you to get in touch. In the appendix, we've got a little bit more, and I'll leave this with you to look at Fit Mama. What we've done so far, the Fit Mama journey, where it was founded, blended training, where we've gone, and then a little bit about each of the board members, Andy Edwards, Britt Ritchie, Madhvi Kulkarni, and that's us. So we are in a position now where we are looking for pre-seed money. We're looking for investors to come in. Me personally, because I'm a solo founder, whilst I've got a board of directors behind me, I'd also like to have people who can come on board and help me to raise this company. So I'm looking really for smart money. I'm looking for investors that have good, strong connections, maybe a COO that they want to suggest, maybe they understand the tech side of it better, so they've got developers that they've used before or come across, or they've invested in other companies. I'm looking for people who can help me very quickly get to market. The fitness industry and the femtech industry are here today, now, current. So we can't waste a lot of time in getting to market. We need to get out there as quickly as possible. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate this. And if there's anything else that you would like at this point, then please do let me know. And if there's any questions that you have, again, then you can let me know, and you can ask me any questions. And if there's anything that I don't have the answer to, I will certainly find that out. Thank you very much for your time.